Welcome to Style and Confidence, where transformative coaching meets personal styling for business success. I'm your host, Claire Silk, a transformative life coach and a personal stylist, passionate about helping women like you align your inner worth with your outer expression. Each week, we explore how to build lasting confidence from the inside out, so you can show up as your most authentic, empowered self. Whether you're looking to break through limiting beliefs, build authentic confidence and a winning mindset, or create a wardrobe that truly empowers you, you are in the right place. Get ready to transform your relationship with both your mind and your style. Hello and welcome to the Style and Confidence podcast, where style meets confidence for business success. I'm Claire Silk and I'm so grateful that you're here with me today. I'm going to start today with a question. How much of your day do you spend performing? And I don't mean performing in a theatrical sense, although it can often feel that way. I mean performing in the sense of doing, of proving and demonstrating, showing everyone around you that you're capable, that you're worthy and that you belong. If you're anything like the women I work with, and indeed like I used to be, the answer is probably too much. Today, I'd like to talk about something that's changed the way I show up in my business and in my life. And it's this: your presence matters more than your performance. I know that might feel counterintuitive, especially if you're ambitious, if you're driven, and if you've built your success on being excellent at what you do. Today, I want to explore what presence really means, why we get stuck in performance mode, and how moving our perspective from doing to being can actually create more impact, more connection, and more success. And of course, I'll give you something practical to take away that you can implement straight away. A few years ago, I was at a networking event, not the lovely, low-key social type for female founders that I enjoy, that are all about support and connection, but one of the rigid, stuffy ones that feel really corporate. And if you've ever been to one of those, you'll know the feeling. You walk in, everyone has their pitch ready, it feels like everyone is only thinking about what they can get from it, and you're thinking about who you need to talk to, what you need to say, how you need to present yourself. At this event, I was in full performance mode. I'd thought carefully about what I was wearing, I'd rehearsed my introduction, I was ready to do all the right things. And then I met a woman who I found really impressive, but in a different way. She wasn't the loudest person in the room, she wasn't working the room, and she wasn't performing at all. But there was something about her that was magnetic. When she spoke, she was there fully. She wasn't disinterested or just half with you, thinking of something else or wanting to be somewhere else. She asked questions and actually listened to the answers. She seemed curious. She didn't interrupt with her own story or pivot the conversation back to herself all the time. She was just present, and it was captivating. I remember walking away from that conversation thinking, I want to be like that. It reminds me of a phrase I like. The most interesting person in the room is the most interested person in the room. Rather than trying to impress people, focus your attention on connecting with them and building a relationship. Instead of performing, be present. That experience made me look at how I was showing up, not just at networking events, but everywhere, in client meetings, with peers, and in my personal life. I realised I'd been operating from a place of proving I was good enough, proving I knew what I was doing, proving I belonged wherever I was. And the exhausting thing about performance is that it never ends, because there's always another person to impress, another standard to meet, another level to reach. But presence is different. Presence isn't about what you do, it's about who you are. It's about being fully in the moment, fully yourself, and fully available to the person or the task in front of you. I believe that presence creates far more impact than performance ever could. When you're performing, you're focused on yourself. You're thinking about how you're coming across, whether you're saying the right things, and whether people are impressed by you. Your attention is split between what's happening and how you're being perceived. But when you're present, you're focused outwards. You are fully engaged with what's in front of you. You are listening deeply and you're responding authentically. You're not worried about the impression you're making because you are too busy actually being involved, fully immersed. And people can feel that energy. They feel the difference between someone who's performing and someone who's really present. Think about the leaders you admire most, the colleagues you trust, the friends that you feel most comfortable with. I'm sure they're not the ones who are constantly proving themselves and putting on a performance. I know I've got friends who have a story for everything and embellish everything, and then I've got some who don't. They're quietly just themselves, and there's a difference. They're the ones who show up with calm, quiet confidence, with authenticity, and with a presence. Now let's consider how style comes into the picture. Because one of the biggest reasons we get stuck in performance mode is that we don't trust that simply being ourselves is enough. We think that to look a certain way, act a certain way, and say the right things, we need to put on a persona, to dress the part, and to perform the role. And that creates a disconnect, a gap between who we really are and who we think we need to be. And this is exponential, and it gradually affects your self-esteem. When your outer expression aligns with how you identify and who you think you are, when you're dressed in a way that feels authentic to you, when you look in the mirror and see yourself rather than something that feels like a costume, it feels different. You stop performing because you no longer feel like you're playing a role. You can just be. I see this transformation with my clients. Women who are trying to look the part and wear what they think they should don't feel comfortable. Their focus is on their outfit because they don't feel comfortable. Over time, they lose confidence in dressing themselves, and usually there's something that they feel much more comfortable in, and they know what it is. They know they would feel more like themselves in this, but they didn't feel it was appropriate. However, they'd have more impact and enjoy themselves more if they just showed up as themselves. For example, I worked with a client who was changing from one day in the office every so often to a sudden move to 3 or 4 days in the office every week. She was really worried about team meetings and presenting to clients as she had no idea what to wear. She started off even just being worried about going into the office because she didn't know what to wear in the office. And she came to me because she felt she could only wear 1 or 2 outfits that fitted the image she had of what she should wear to the office. We thought about when she felt completely comfortable and confident at work, and it was when she was on Zoom, not giving any thought to her outfit and not feeling preoccupied or distracted by what she was wearing. She was fully present. So we worked to help her access that feeling more consistently. We looked at her wardrobe and found pieces that made her feel grounded and confident, true expressions of who she was and what she felt confident in. We worked on her mindset, building up her self-belief and trust in herself so that she could let go of the belief that she needed to prove herself all the time. If you're someone who feels like you're constantly proving yourself, constantly performing, know that you don't have to use up all that mental energy. There is another way. You don't need to do more and you don't need to be more. You just need to be present, which starts with trust. Trusting that who you are is enough and that you don't need to actively impress everyone. When you can trust yourself to choose an outfit that you will feel great in and that your value doesn't come from performance, it comes from your authentic contribution, you can show up with real presence. In turn, people will trust you more and connect with you more deeply. People will remember you. So here's your action for this week. I want you to practice a simple 3-second pause. Do this before you walk into a meeting, a networking event, or any important conversation. Just pause for 3 seconds. Take a deep breath, feel your feet on the ground and ask yourself, am I about to perform or am I about to be present? This tiny weeny pause and this reflection gives you a chance to catch yourself and notice if you're in performance mode, if you're thinking about how you're going to come across, what people will think, or whether you'll impress them. Just notice it and then release it and consider who you are when you are most yourself. Instead of focusing on what you need to do, focus on being fully there. Listen deeply and respond authentically, trusting that simply being yourself is more than enough. When I find myself fully in performance mode, it feels like I'm all in my head, without the ability to think, a kind of autopilot feeling. This takes away my ability to think rationally and respond in a truly considered way. And the more you can practice presence, like anything, the easier it gets. There's also a second part to this action. Look at your wardrobe through a lens of presence, not performance. Are there pieces in your wardrobe that make you feel like you're playing a role or wearing a costume? Those are performance pieces. And are there pieces that make you feel grounded, confident, and really express you? These are your presence pieces. This week, try to wear more of the latter, because when you feel like yourself on the outside, it is so much easier to be present on the inside. So to bring this episode to a close, let's recap. Your presence matters more than your performance, because presence creates connection, trust, and lasting impact in a way that performance never can. When you're performing, you're focused on proving yourself and managing how you're perceived. But when you're present, you're focused outwards. You are fully engaged, fully yourself, and fully there. The change from performance to presence starts with trust, trusting that who you are is enough and that you don't need to impress everyone in order to belong. Your style plays a powerful role in this. When your outer expression aligns with who you really are, when you're dressed in a way that feels like you, it becomes so much easier to simply be present. So this week, practice the 3-second pause before important moments and ask yourself, am I about to perform or am I about to be present? Choose presence. And then take a look at your wardrobe. Identify the pieces that help you feel grounded and more like you, and wear these more often. You don't need to perform, you just need to be fully and authentically you. This is quiet power and confidence. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If this episode resonated with you and you're interested in doing this work more deeply, building a style and a confidence that feels aligned to your fabulous self, I would love to support you. You can find out more about my programs at clairesilk.com. And I'll see you next week. Thank you for listening to Style and Confidence, where style meets confidence for business success. If you have enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend, rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss out on our weekly confidence-building conversations. You can also connect with me over on LinkedIn as Claire Silk or on Instagram at Silk Style and Confidence for more style and mindset tips. Until next time, remember, true confidence comes from within. Style helps it shine.